haven't decided on what we're gonna call it, but for now we're gonna call it that. Today it was kind of like somewhat busy, but not really busy. Week for games. What is he doing? Okay, he's adjusting himself. Going through a tunnel. No. Can you like put your phone away or something? Cause like you can hear the Every time you get on vacation, we hear it. Okay. You see something?
Something.
Alright, cool. Let's get to it. So, let's talk about the first thing. The first thing for today is the limited release for the PS5. So here are some quotes. I'll wait to Jill to get out of the tunnel.
I'm still in the tunnel?
You clearly you sound like you're shuffling.
Why am I? Wait, hold up. Let me get out this tunnel.
Meanwhile, this video is sponsored by. No, it's not. It's not sponsored by anything.
What's your sponsor? Okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, first quote for the day. First quote for the day. The exact price of the console is hard to pin down. However, the scarcity of the components is reportedly making it difficult for Sony to pin down a price for the PS5, as any shortages could lead to the higher end of that reported pricing range. Right? So, what do you get from that, Gio? I'm gonna repeat it again because I kind of talked too fast. So, the exact price of the console is hard to pin down. However, the scarcity of the components is reportedly making it difficult for Sony to pin down a price for the PS5, as any shortages could lead to the higher end of that reported pricing range. So, does that make sense? So, because they have limited amounts, they're gonna charge more. Did I say? Did I misinterpret it? But did you get the same thing from that quote that I did?
Yeah. So
Because
there's
they're
less. If there's less parts to make the PS4, right, because of the virus, then they're more. They cost more because there's less of them, right?
mm,
So, based on the speculation that the PS5 is going to cost anywhere between, what was it, 450 to 550?
so we'll go on to the prices later, but
Oh,
for now let's just talk about
the components.
the limited release.
Oh, I think it's going to be hard for Sony because the thing is, well, either it's going to create like a demand for it, right? So the value of it is going to go be higher.
Sorry.
There's a delay. I'm
No,
like, wait,
no,
what the
no,
hell?
no. It's a video. I was checking the stream. You were saying? I'm sorry.
Um, I was saying that it makes sense for it to be for the components to be more expensive, right? Because of the virus.
Mm-hmm.
So there's less number of components accessible for Sony to make the PS5. But about the limited release of PS5, I think it's gonna create like a demand, right? Because everyone's gonna want the PS5, and there isn't gonna be enough consoles. So either people are gonna buy all of them and sell them for higher, or
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna people are still gonna want to buy the PS5, right? Because there's a demand for it, and as scalpers are most likely gonna buy the ones that they do have and try and sell them for more.
Like we see
So
with a lot of things.
it's hard because people want the PS5, but if there isn't the PS5, then their demand for that same
Mm-hmm.
system increases, right? But then the PS5 is also gonna have a low initial consumer rate, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then that's gonna eventually go up as time progresses. So what do you think, Carlos?
So here's another quote that I'm gonna sort of paraphrase. So it says Bloomberg sources noted that this pressure impacted the review of the DualSense controller, which was hurried due to the potential for leaks after sharing the controller's design with developers outside of Sony. So with that, I'm kind of getting like the reason why Sony themselves was like, "Here's the controller," was because all the leaks and stuff, and they felt like they're like, "Oh shit, we have to release the console, but we don't have it ready. What are we gonna do? Oh, let's just show them the controller." That's what I think going on with like the fact that I know for a fact they're not going to have enough PS5s, and if you want to buy it, you have to pre-order it, or else you're not going to get a copy. And I mean, I still think there's going to be a lot PS5. They're going to sell a lot of them, but not as much as if everything was normal, right? So maybe out of the 10 million PS5s they have, they're only going to sell like 5. Maybe that's too drastic, but I just feel like they don't have enough manpower to actually sit down and like you turn on the machines to make the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I don't know if it was a month ago or a week ago or how many days ago. Time has like the fantasy of time has just gone away from me. Um, but I did remember hearing about how they were moving their company from somewhere to Taiwan because of the situation. So I'm pretty sure that had some effect to it. But
Yeah.
overall, like I just think like because you can see with a lot of games right now, a lot of games are getting delayed. Like The Last of Us 2, it got delayed so many times. Even prior to this, it was getting delayed, and then you can't even pre-order it on the PSN store. Like it's no longer there, and it was just within a day, it was gone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was just a matter of time before we saw that. Like if you thought that the Sony was gonna release a bunch of like copies, I don't know what shell you're living under, but I don't think that's gonna happen because they don't have a lot of manpower, a lot of like. I just feel like the copies that are going to be sold were already done, and they were going to do more, but because of the situation, they didn't have time, didn't have money. I mean, they've had money, but they didn't have like the equity to do it, or they just didn't have the time to do it because a lot of places are closed down in the region. So I just think it's gonna go. I just knew for a fact that once this happened, everything was going to be slowly affected, and we're seeing it with the games. So hopefully by when Ghost of Tsushima comes out, which is I don't know when is that? Is that May? So
July,
that's
June, May.
yeah. It's no, it's 2 months away. So hopefully by then this goes back to normal and we might play it. But moving forward, um, yesterday I believe yesterday day before, it was late the price of the PS5, which is going to be from 499 to 549. Pretty much, um, the reasoning for the apparently for this price comes down to more the effect of the higher price tag. The report notes that Sony anticipates the console's price tag to come in around 499 to 559, a figure the company thinks could put off some potential buyers in the launch year, meaning it will scale down production. So they know for a fact that not a lot of people are going to buy it because we have to pay bills, we have to do this. Like a lot of people are laid off. So I think as a reasonable human person, um, I have more priorities. I would rather spend the money on like food, um, toilet paper, I guess, but like then buying a system. So I know for a fact. So they knew for a fact that this was gonna be scaled down. So why not charge more? Like a lot of companies do that. Like a lot of companies don't sell a lot, but because their products are so expensive, they're able to afford it.
Yeah.
That was a little jab
I
at
mean,
you know.
I feel like $500 should be. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think because they're afraid that consumers are not gonna want to spend that much money on a console.
But you remember PS3? PS3 was so expensive at the time. I'm sorry, I just remember.
Yeah, but that was it. But that's why the PS4 was $400. They learned their mistakes.
But
So I think that the PS5, because the PS4 was 400, I feel like the PS5 should be 500. And then eventually, I'm sure they're gonna make their money back with games and stuff.
do you think that if it wasn't for this, they would have still charged that much, or you think it would have been less or more?
If it wasn't for the virus,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think it just makes sense for them to aim at the $500 price tag. Because I mean, I get it. It's still $500 is expensive, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, especially now, since a lot of people don't have money, it makes sense for them to try and
Like,
keep the cost as low
like,
as possible.
like, we pay so much money for these phones, right? Excuse me, I have to burp. We pay a lot of money for these phones, but a lot of people are in plans where they're paying it monthly. So I can't see where people can be like, "Oh, I'll use my credit card. I'll pay with my credit card." You know, but like even then, I really have to burp, but it's not coming out. Even then, it's still something that's, excuse me, sorry, not a priority for a lot of people, or at least shouldn't be a priority for a lot of people. So it's in a way it's smart for them as a company because they know they're not going to sell a lot, but the stuff they do sell, they'll make a profit because they're raising the price of admission. You know, like less quantity, more value. You'd say, not really, but you know how like some companies they do that they make less of something so that you can buy it for more for because it's worth more because there was only 500 copies sold. You know, so I feel like
Yeah,
that's the reasoning towards it. But I also believe is because the fact that they're kind of in a situation where it's like, I guess this is what we got to do. You know, we want to make money. We have to do something. We can't just be like, oh yeah, it's for free. Here you go. There's no company is gonna give something like that for free. So I can see as a financial like um standpoint, I can see that as like we have to make some money and we're gonna lose it, but we're gonna make it by charging more to people. Moving
yeah,
forward, so Gio's not really a PC person himself. I'm dabbling into it. I'm getting more into the PC sort of like master race. But I haven't played this game. So I was interested in playing Valorant, but apparently you have to like watch a stream and watch it enough to get like codes so that you can get a code to play the beta because it's closed. Regardless, there is an anti-cheat software. A lot of games have it. CS:GO, League of Legends, all those games they have it. What's the word? Embedded. Is that a word? Embedded,
yeah.
embodied. Like in they have it in the software basically. In a quote by from PC Gamer, the driver does not collect or send any information about your system to Riot. He added, and scans will only run when the game is running. The Riot Vanguard driver can of course be uninstalled from Add Remove Program menu in Windows, but doing so means you won't be able to play the game. We think this as an important tool in our fight against cheaters, but the most important part is the way we're here so that players can have a good experience with Valorant, and if your security tools do more harm than good, we'll remove them and try something else, he wrote. From now on, we think a run a boot time driver is the right choice. Riot hasn't announced any specific numbers yet, but the system appears to be working. Chamberlain said on his Twitter just after the Valorant closed beta began that cheats bans were already happening. So if you don't know, if you live under the rock or you don't play PC, you're just Xbox fanboy, PS4 fanboy, and you don't know what the Sys game is, I don't know what you're doing because this has been everywhere. Uh, Pretty much there is a software within the game that pretty much gets access to your information. So in a way, kind of like it's like a kind of like a hack where I can get all your information sent to China or to I think it's China or something like that. It's sending the information from your computer somewhere else. And in the quote, some people were saying China, but I don't know. I don't want to say for sure that's where it goes, but it goes to a company that's outside of the United States because it's Riot, you know? I think it's Tencent. Yeah, right. Who owns
I
Riot?
mean, I think Tencent owns Riot,
So,
but Tencent is owned by China, I think. Like they're part
regardless,
of the.
the software sends information to that company and you're while you're playing the game and has access to your information without even knowing. Thankfully, now this is in the news and everywhere, and people know what's going on. But it's like I wouldn't feel comfortable playing Doom and just randomly people. I mean, it happens all the time. You know, when you go on Instagram, you go to Google and you search up jump rope, right? For example, when you go to your Amazon, your when you go to Instagram, you're gonna see jump rope advertisements on your thing because they're trying to persuade you and stuff. But like that doesn't mean that I want people to know where I live or do this or do that. You know, especially somewhere outside that's not a benefit for me. I know that's kind of like twofold, you know, but like a game shouldn't have that. There should be another way for a company or a software to like, hello, you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
it's weird.
I thought you disconnected.
No. So I don't think there should be a software where it kind of like just goes in with it without you telling you. At least have an option, because you're playing a game without knowing what's going on, and it just happens. So that's my idea, or that's my opinion. What do you think?
Uh, so from what I remember before, I think it's the big problem here is that okay they're making their own like anti-cheat software or they're using a vendor's anti-cheat software, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then let's say that that anti-cheat software has a bug in it, right, or a glitch
Mm-hmm.
or like a easy hack. That software has access to all of your computer components, right,
Mm-hmm.
in the software.
You sound really bad.
So if there's a
Can you hang up and rejoin?
wait, I got this. Hold up, sorry. How about now?
You say full sentence. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you say full sentence?
How much wood will a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You're good. Can you?
So I was saying that let's say that this anti-cheat software has a glitch or a easy hack, right, for hackers to use against users or people that play this game. The thing is, since you're authorizing this anti-cheat software to be at the root of the PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has access to software and hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that there's a glitch or a hack, people can actually use that, and actually it compromises your whole system because someone can go in there using this anti-cheat software and have access to all of your computer.
Yeah.
So I feel like it brings up some valid points of like we understand that you're trying to create a game that doesn't have people cheating within the game, but like
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you're placing all of your users and the gamers at risk from let's say getting hacked in the sense that the software that they're forcing their users and gamers to install can also have its can have like a backdoor to it, or it can also have glitches that they might not be aware of, but that at the end of the day, the users or the gamers are going to be the ones affected by.
Fortunately, that's what's gonna happen. But I mean, hopefully they do find a way to overrule this thing, so that they're able to help against cheating, because unfortunately, cheating is something that has its own like niche, whatever. So I mean, I have no interest in this game, but for people that do, just be safe. Just make sure that you know what you're getting. So just be aware that sorry, just be aware that information or that thing is in the game. So you're not like, oh, I didn't know.
See,
Lastly,
see, see, see.
uh, games we're looking forward for 2020. So there's not a lot because shit's hit the fan. So um, I'll let you go first while I think of the ones that I'm looking forward to.
So I mean, the big one was The Last of Us, but we have to see whenever that comes out. Um, Other than that, I think Ghost of Tsushima looks interesting. Cyberpunk 2077. Um, Avengers, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Collection.
It's
How
not
about
really a
you?
new game though.
Huh?
It's not really a new game though.
Yeah, I think they're remaking it.
But it's not a new. I'm just kidding. Um,
You think they are?
Ghost of Tsushima. The moment I saw the trailer for it, I think was it when we see it in PlayStation Experience or whatever. Did we see it in the theater?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was just like, this is like infamous, but like samurais and shit. So I'm definitely excited for that. I'm a big fan of Sucker Punch. I really like their stuff. Um, what else? So I'm kind of like, like I want to play Last of Us 2, but like there's been other games that have already come before that game, so it's kind of like I don't know if I'm just because if I feel like this because it's keeps getting delayed or just other games are like because when I played The Last of Us, it was like the best experience. But I try to. I mean, okay, this is just me. I might get a lot of slack for it, but playing it the first time was the best game I've ever played. But then playing it again, it was kind of like it felt like a drag for me. I didn't finish my second playthrough. I I don't. I think I did play the DLC. Um, but I don't remember. I think I did, but I don't remember. So this is this is something that I don't know. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not. But Crisis 3 or Crisis in general, I love playing those games. Uh, and it is funny to see that game that game that broke like if you knew like can your game run Crisis or sorry can your PC run Crisis? So that's something I'm looking forward to. Obviously, it's not a PS title, or it might come to console, but it might just look okay. So I might get it on PC. Um, Cyberpunk definitely. I still haven't decided if I'm getting on PC or console, just because I I don't know to be honest. I don't know. I hope it doesn't get delayed because it comes out what in like September.
Yeah, like 2 months or three.
What else? So I really like Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2. I kind of preferred the story in Watch Dogs 2, but I
Is that
preferred
coming out next year or this year?
it was supposed to come out like in the summer. But now if you go I mean at least on the Ubisoft website or the game page, the launcher, it just says 2020. So it could come out tomorrow. It could come out next month. It could come out literally on November, for all we know, or December. So I'm looking forward to that. At first, I was kind of hesitant because it's like there's no real main character. It's like, oh, I'm you, and then I you, or no, what's the thing? I was gonna say, oh, I get a person. Oh, you get a person. You get a person. So it's just like it doesn't feel like there's an actual like specific storyline, but it does look interesting to me, and I've always liked this game. So other than that,
Yeah.
I'm excited. So Joe has nothing. Joe doesn't know about this. He doesn't really care. But I like anime. Obviously, my nerdy shit right there in the back. So I just there was a video that came out yesterday from the Instagram from Bandai Namco, and Todoroki from My Hero Academia got announced for Jump Force as another hero for season 2. They're gonna announce a Bleach character, a Hunter character, and some other thing which I don't know because I don't watch that many animes, but so I'm excited for that. A big fan. Like they already had Bakugo and they had Deku, so probably Jill's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" But I'm excited for that. It's not a game, but it's something a part of the game. And oh wait, is it coming out? Oh, Saints Row Third, getting remastered. That's not a new game, but I'm excited to play that again. It was one of my favorites. Is there anything else you want to talk about today, Jill? Before we go, and don't say no.
Trying to think. Am I missing something?
Are you? You're missing a face because I can't see you.
Did we talk about the controller, the PS4 controller, PS5?
So we talked about
Was that last week? Did we talk
that was
about the
last week.
controller last week?
That was last week. We can talk about it if you have new information to talk about
No.
or
I
any
feel like they need to hurry up and announce it.
what the PS5.
Yep.
Here's the toilet. I,
I feel like
I'm
they're
just
taking too long, so people don't care anymore because they're just like, "Come on,
they're like just give it to me, just give it to me, just give me games. Come on, just come here, come here, come here. You're ugly, but it's
I'm
fine.
sure they're not. They're not gonna have a lot of games for the PS5. They have so many that still have to come out for the PS4.
They have Godfall, which is we don't know when it's gonna come out. We just know it exists.
I think they're expecting people to just buy the PS5,
They're like, buy it
and
because
then
you want it.
if it's gonna be cross compatible, then well the
So
thing is this, right? The games on PS4 can be played on PS5, right? But then games on are they gonna do a thing where games on PS? Well, of course, right? Games on PS5 cannot be played on PS4.
backwards or forwards compatibility.
It's not. Well, yeah, no, you're right. So PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4.
But
Yeah, that makes sense.
by that sense, it would just be an overpriced PS4 Pro.
No, because I'm sure they're gonna have because they're gonna have games
Just think
exclusive
about
for
it.
the PS5.
Just think about it though. Just think about it. For now,
Well, no, because I was
no,
thinking
just
like
just for
technically,
now.
like, the PS4 Pro.
For now, we don't know what games are coming out, right? So for now, you're gonna buy a console and play your PS4 games. What's something you can do that already that's better and enhanced? PS4 Pro. So it's gonna be a PS4 Pro 2.
No,
Like,
it's not
at
the
the
same.
time.
No, it's not the
No,
same,
no.
Carlos.
At the time, that's what it's going to be until new games come out for it. That's what essentially what's going to be. What the thing is going to be. It's
Well,
going
that's
to
the
be
thing.
a PS4 Pro.
What are the enhanced games?
We don't even know. We just know. We know that Division is going to be enhanced, but only for Xbox. Cyberpunk for Xbox, but we don't even know if it's going to be enhanced for. I feel like the exclusives are going to go away, but if you want it to be nice and pretty and enhanced, they're going to have like that exclusivity. You know what I mean? So it's like Xbox is like, here, have some money. Here, make our game pretty. Oh, PS4, PS5, forget about that. So Xbox is going to have the better, more optimized version, right? And then PS4 is going to have the same version, but it's not going to be as pretty as an Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's interesting to see if Xbox is gonna come out this year.
I don't know. They haven't said anything. I mean, at least people know what it looks like, and we know what's inside the component.
True.
PS4, we don't even PS5. We don't know what it even looks like. For all we know, it's like it could just be like it could just look like this, or like the regular PS4 with like these or some shit, you know, like freaking Wally looking ass. All right, this was episode 2 of Keeping Up with the Games. It wasn't that busy today or this week. It probably was, but we either were lazy and didn't want to find information.
I didn't hear a lot. It was a slow week, I think.
It was a slow week.
I didn't see anything else.
Let me find out. Actually, give me a second. I think I remember something. Give me a second. Oh, I found one. I remember. I remember. I don't know if it happened last week or this week, but Animal Crossing, you can't play on China, fortunately, because a lot of people. So Animal Crossing is a place where you can be free, you can be yourself, and a lot of natives have been protesting the government, and so what happens when you protest the government? You get banned. So if you have the game, you can still play it, but you can only play offline. And a lot of retail stores in China are not selling it anymore. So you kind of have to get it imported. So it sucks, but Animal Crossing got. And then I don't know how valid this news is, but some people are making their own Switches because of the fact that you can't buy any Switches. I mean, you can, but they're just like $600. You know, the price of the PS5. You know. So
yeah,
some people have been making their own. How they do it, if they're doing it, I don't know. I just know that happened. But yeah, that was the episode for today, for the week. We'll be back next week with hopefully more information and hopefully a better understanding of what the PS5 looks like. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night. And until next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Peace.